Maybe we're all different, but we're still the same. We've all got the same blood running through our veins. I know sometimes it's hard for you to see. You're caught between just who you are and who you want to be. You feel alone and lost and need a friend. Remember, every new beginning has some beginning's end. Welcome to wherever you are. This is your life. You made it this far. And welcome, you've got to believe that right here, right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Welcome to wherever you are. When everybody's in and you're left out, and it feels like you're drowning in a shadow of a doubt. Everyone's a miracle in their own way. Just listen to yourself and not what other people say. When it seems you're lost, alone, and feeling down, remember, everybody's different. Just take a look around. Welcome to wherever you are, and this is your life. You've made it this far, and welcome. You've got to believe that right here, right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and be who you want to be, and be who you are. And everyone's a hero, and everyone's a star. When you want to give up and your heart's about to break, remember that you're perfect and God makes no mistakes. Welcome to wherever you are, and this is your life. You've made it this far, and welcome. You've got to believe that right here, right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Wherever you are, and this is your life. You've made it this far. I say welcome. I say welcome.
Good evening. How is everyone? Well, I think it's pretty clear that we are all exactly where we're supposed to be. That was just beautiful. And I can honestly tell you that there is no place I would rather be. And I will ask for your apology right now as I cry through this entire service. But there is no place I would rather be in this moment than in my body, living this moment with Reverend Jonathan Zenz. So I would like to welcome and bring to the stage Helen Vallot, President of the Board of Trustees and practitioner intern here at the Toronto Centre, to do our opening treatment.
Welcome, everyone. Let's take a breath and open our hearts to this glorious moment. Knowing that the divine is always present, that the divine light that is infinite love, infinite in possibility, in potential, and in greatness, is right here, right now. The light surrounds this center, the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. The light within each one of us that has brought us here to this day of celebration for our new minister. And it is this light, this love from our open hearts that creates miracles in the world, that brings peace and love to all. Welcome to our esteemed guests. Welcome to our founding minister, Reverend Barbara Schreiner-Tudell. Welcome each and every person here today. And welcome to your new life and your new world, Reverend Jonathan Zenz. It is with an open, grateful heart that I say thank you. Thank you to the light, to the God, this divine creative intelligence that is always, always acting according to principle, that is always bringing truth, bringing light, bringing love. Thank you to all the people that created this day and made it so very, very special. Thank you to the teachings of Ernest Holmes. And thank you for this moment. I let it all go. I let this moment be so. I let go and let God. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Helen. That was exquisite. In the song that they just sang, there's one of the lyrics is, remember that every new beginning is some beginning's end. So you sit here tonight as we install Reverend Jonathan at the end of one thing and the beginning of another. Reverend Barbara brought this center to a brilliant place, the spark of creation, the idea in her mind that brought this forth. And now Jonathan bringing his spark of creation to take it to its next place. And what I want to say to you is that Jonathan sits on this stage because you called for him. We are at this place in time where we are beginning to understand Ernest Holmes' teaching in a deeper way. And Ernest Holmes said that it is up to us to bring forth exactly what we are equal to. And I always laugh because I say, which actually we are doing, we just don't know it. So our job is to get equal to something better so that we bring it forth. And what I can tell you is that what you are equal to, just by the pure logical science of the science of mind, you are equal to this man right here. One minute. And what I can tell you about that is that it says as much about you as it does about him. Because I don't know most of you, but I know him. And so what I can know about you is that you are equal to this honest, integritist, loving, creative, wacky, but always, always, always there, divine human being. I also know that you have called forth someone who understands Ernest Holmes in a way that not many people do, and that he is taking this teaching and this science forward in such a dramatic, brilliant way that you are all in the hands of such greatness. But that's because you are such greatness, because he couldn't be here if you were not equal to him. That's how this works. So, you know, my first ministerial class, what Jonathan was in, and he almost wasn't in that class because he he wasn't really ready yet. He didn't have all the credentials, but of course I don't believe there's any such thing as rules. So, which you'll find out about Jonathan as he goes forward, that rules are to be broken. Rules are to be created new rules out of. So I went and got a variance, which they now lovingly call a melon. And I asked to put Jonathan in the class. And I can tell you that tonight shows me why that happened. And showed me why that even though there was so much opposition, it happened anyway. Because you were calling him forth even then. Reverend Barbara was already sending out the signals then, saying, "Who's next?" And here he sits. So you are in for an incredible ride. And, you know, people say, how do you feel about losing Reverend Jonathan? But I haven't lost Reverend Jonathan. I never will. He will always be a part of my life. He will always be the minister that came from the NoHo Arts Center. And it's very possible that someday the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought will be known as the church that produced this. So, I'd like to continue with the formal installation here. Members of the congregation of the Center of Spiritual Living Toronto, it is a joyous privilege to officially recognize as a minister of religious science and to officially install as the spiritual director of this center, Jonathan Zenz. Being duly qualified for such responsibility by having completed the required Centers for Spiritual Living instruction, Jonathan has proven his understanding of religious science. His high spiritual consciousness and consistent use of principle have made him an invaluable asset to the Centers for Spiritual Living. His caring and dedication have endeared him to the hearts of many. Ministry is a profession in the highest sense. It is also a business requiring management skills, leadership ability, and financial understanding. Yet, it is something still much more. It is a calling, an inner prompting to serve God, self, and humankind. It is a challenge to live by spiritual principles. It is a dedication and a consecration to the truth of these principles. It is a commitment to share these principles with others, and their lives, by sharing these principles, become transformed. We have such wonderful, wonderful music in the New Thought movement. And one of my favorite, and I know one of Jonathan's favorite singers, is a singer-songwriter whose heart is so easily seen the minute she walks into your orb. She is right now, currently, in my Science Mind 300 class on her way to becoming a practitioner. And I imagine someday I will be doing this same thing for this lovely lady. So please help me welcome Karen Mitchell.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here for you and for myself tonight. When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. And God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. things go wrong and my way is dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole, 'cause God is right here where I am. I'm right where I should be, as I fill my mind with peace. I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
I think if I'm remembering correctly, isn't that the first thing you sang here? Or one of the first songs you sang here?
I brought it in pretty quickly. And you're not going to want to hear me sing it anymore.
So, our program of teaching and our ministry of healing are based on a declaration of principles written by Ernest Holmes. And Jonathan asked that this evening Reverend Rita Andriello read these declaration of principles. Rita has been at the center for a very long time in North Hollywood, and she and Jonathan are very close. They were in ministerial classes for years together. And as luck would have it, when Jonathan left me destitute and no-ho, the lovely Reverend Rita Andriello stepped in and took his position. So I now have this brilliant woman helping me along. So please welcome Reverend Rita Andriello.
I love you. I feel so at home. Thank you. Okay, so we have an awesome teaching, and I'm going to read these principles, and you're going to see how awesome a teaching we have. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical, necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of spirit in humankind, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality and the immortality and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of conditions through the power of the mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of the mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, our own destiny, for we understand that the life of humankind is God. Pretty awesome teaching, huh? So I was asked to just speak a few moments on that, and I want to say that it is an awesome teaching, and I know that we believe that, or we wouldn't be sitting here, or we want to believe that, or we wouldn't be sitting here. And what I know is that it's about the degree that we believe it, that it's manifested in our life. And I want to just bring that back to Jonathan and the degree that he believes in it. One day, not long before we graduated, but a few months, he came to me and he said, on July 31st, I'm no longer going to be in this job. And it was several months before July 31st. That was a date that we were going to do our intensive. And he said, because I want to be a pastor, and I want to be a full-time minister, and I can't do that if I stay here. And at that time, he didn't have this. He didn't really hardly know about this. He just knew what he wanted to be, and he had a high degree of belief in that. And he knew that the impress of his thought upon the creative medium was going to demonstrate that. He knew that. And so he leaped off. And that's the kind of leader that you have. And one day, I was in a position where it was time for me to leap off, because the life that I wanted, and I was pressing up against me so strongly, like against the life I was in. It was going like this, and it was time to make a decision. But my degree of belief wasn't really high enough at that time. And I remember coming to the center, and I just literally fell into Jonathan's arms, crying, because I was at that point where, you're at that point, you just have to make a decision. If you don't make it, you're going to just explode. And he did a treatment for me. And in that moment, I don't remember what he said, but it was a transformational treatment. It was about freedom. And after that treatment, I was able to raise my degree up because of him. And here I am. So this is an awesome teaching, and it has everything we could ever require. And you have an awesome leader, and I just am so grateful to be here. Thank you.
As I was listening to Rita read those, all the centers write their own version of the I Believe, the Declaration of Principles. And I don't know what yours is. I imagine it's something. And it's funny to hear everybody's, though, what everybody agrees to put into their Declaration of Principles. But I can tell you one thing that is so important, what this teaching teaches us. Whatever you say after I believe, be very, very careful that it's what you want to materialize. Because whatever it is you believe and whatever you follow it with, that must materialize in your life. So I say, let's believe great things. Let's believe in prosperity. Let's believe in love. Let's believe in creativity. Let's believe in unlimited possibility. Yes? Yes. Let's all say, I believe. I believe. And I know whatever comes after that for you is absolutely fabulous. Ab fab. Okay. So It's my pleasure to bring back Helen, president of the board. Helen, if you would come up. Where are you, Helen? There you go. Okay, so this is the serious stuff.
Okay, but I might cry now.
Okay, there's tissues behind you. Okay, Helen, do you, as an authorized representative of the Board of Trustees of this center, reaffirm that it is the will and the desire of this center that Jonathan Zenz be granted recognition as Minister of Religious Science and be installed as spiritual director of this center?
Yes. As a representative and president and a very, very grateful and honored member of the Board of Trustees of this Center for Spiritual Living Toronto, it is my pleasure to both state that the Board of Trustees and this beautiful congregation of this center request that Jonathan Zenz be granted recognition as Minister of Religious Science and be installed as our beloved spiritual director.
So here to take a very substantial part in that installation is the founding spiritual director of Center for Spiritual Living Toronto, and just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul, and I know I don't have to say much more because all of you know and love her. So please welcome Reverend Barbara Schreiner-Trudell.
Jonathan, do you want to come stand with me, my friend? I'm so delighted to be here with you.
Thank you.
I've known you a short time and I love you already. Jonathan Zenz, do you accept as your faith the truth expressed in our Declaration of Principles?
I do.
Will you, to the best of your ability, let this guide your life?
I will.
Will you help all those who come to you to understand the truth, that we are immersed in the Spirit of God, that we are in God, and that God is in us, that we are one being?
I will.
Do you believe that the events, situations, and circumstances which we attract into our experience are the result of that which we think, feel, and imagine, and that the person who embodies what he or she wants to attract, regardless of what appears, will eventually experience in the outer realm what he or she has so faithfully seen in the inner realm?
I absolutely do.
Jonathan, you've made a great decision in your life. You have dedicated yourself to live and teach the principles of truth. And I'm so glad you're here. I love you. It takes absolute faith to create what's been created here. And it takes absolute faith to leave your home country, to come to another one that's similar, but a little more polite maybe at times. I mean, you could step on my toe and I'll say I'm sorry. It's a Canadian thing. What I know is that faith is something that is within us and is always present, but something that we occasionally will forget to tap, to believe in, and to really hold as truth. And what I know is that when I decided to come and start this center, I had absolute faith that whatever was needed, whatever was necessary, would be here at that time. And so with $40 in a suitcase, hopped on a one-way ticket to Hamilton, and here I came. And this center is the result of that idea, that faith, and that vision. And when I left here last July, again, it was through faith. It was knowing that this center was a divine idea in the mind of God, fully realized.
and that it was now my turn to step back and allow it to rebirth itself to a bigger and greater and more substantial vision and version than it had ever been before. And as a result, the Reverend Jonathan Zenz, who knew Toronto was his destiny long before he ever came here, long before it was even available, he knew Toronto was a place he wanted to be. And he was telling me a while back when we were chatting that he opened his suitcase when he got here and the first thing he found was my business card because we had met at a Sillamar. The truth is that faith is guiding us every moment of every hour of every day. And are we listening to what it is we believe, or are we looking at external circumstances and waiting for it to show us that it's okay to move forward? We have to jump. We have to fly, because God, in fact, gave us wings. God bless you all. I'm so grateful to have served with you for so long, and I'm so grateful for my beloved new friend, Jonathan, and all that he's going to bring. So God bless.
So Jonathan, if you could stand. Jonathan, your affirmation of faith makes all of us aware that the presence, which is God, is manifest in each of us. Your friends and fellow ministers rejoice that you have entered upon the path of this service. We know that the light of truth will always guide you, and that the presence of God will always sustain your ministry of loving service. I charge you, Jonathan Zenz, as you progress as spiritual director of this center, to remain steadfast and unwavering, to know that divine principle is the only power, to know that the presence of God will strengthen and sustain you, and to know that the one mind will inspire your loving, consecrated service. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so?
I will.
Will the members and friends of this center, will you all please stand? It's very important for you all to know that Jonathan is one man, a very big man, a very powerful man. But there is many here in this room tonight. And that this center, as it grows, as it must, as it will, as it already is, depends on every single person in this room who has dedicated themselves to become and to be a member of this community. So I charge you, members and friends of this center, to help Reverend Jonathan Zenz, to honor Reverend Jonathan Zenz, to support Reverend Jonathan Zenz with your treatments, with your dedication, and with your love. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so? Yes. Then you can be seated. You know, that's the part of the installation that took me by surprise when I was installed by the brilliant Dr. David Walker. And when everyone stood up and was asked that question, all of a sudden my heart opened, and it feels so right to know that this is the family that surrounds us. So I'm really just so blessed to be here tonight. There are no words, and you know, we had talked about what I want to give a talk, and I don't. I don't, and the reason why I don't is because this is my talk. Really. I mean, this man came to our center, and you can stand for this. This man came to our center looking for a date. Yeah. And he never found one. That was the hard thing. Right? And it was pretty amazing because he came there because someone said, you know, there's someone in our congregation you should meet. And there was himself. And he met himself. And then we all got to meet him. And we get to meet him more every day as more of himself comes forward. So, with that in mind, Reverend Jonathan Zenz, acting upon the authority vested in me by the Leadership Council of the Centers for Spiritual Living, I hereby grant you, Jonathan Zenz, recognition as Minister of Religious Science, and at the request of your Board of Trustees, to install you as the Spiritual Director of the Center for Spiritual Living, Toronto. So I invite you to step down for a second, and Reverend Barbara to come forward. Right here in this moment, as Reverend Barbara places this stole, this symbolic understanding that Jonathan has now clothed himself in his spiritual calling. He has said yes to what you have all brought forth, and I know you have said yes to what this man represents. So I hereby give you and present to you the spiritual leader, spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living, Toronto, Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
So it's appropriate for me to say some words now. I don't know why they do this, because I can't imagine anybody not being just a blubbering mess at this point. So I have a question for everyone. Well, first of all, I want you to know I didn't prepare anything. I was too busy to go to Starbucks and sit there and write a talk. But what I'm really struck with is the idea of taking a leap of faith tonight. And that was very important to me in my growing up, really. I did go to the center in the NoHo Art Center for the first time because I was being set up on a date. That is absolutely true. And I have to tell you that I was bowled over with what I heard. And I am so grateful to this man for the way he has shifted and changed my life. And the day I will also say, wow. The day that I told him that I was leaving as the administrator, which was a long conversation we had on the way to, do you remember? It was on the way to the doctorate ceremony for Dr. Moira Fox at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. And we had a whole conversation. I was on the fence that whole time. And on the way back from that center, from that celebration, I said, it's time. I told him in the car, I said, you're going to receive a letter of resignation. I will give you, how many months did I give you? I gave him 3 months notice. 3 months notice. And I said, when I go to do my ministerial intensives, I will be stepping in fully, 100% into ministry. And that this is something that is so important to me, and I'm so grateful that you allowed me the freedom to do that and didn't try and hold on to me. So then I ask you, what is your leap of faith? What is it that you're sitting on? What dreams are you sitting on? What's in there? It is so important to me that my ministry be about helping people recognize their dreams and stepping into the greatness that they are. I stand up here every single week. I mean, you know this. I stand up here every single week and I say, you are God. I look at every single face and say, you are God. At what point are you going to embody that idea? Tonight is about me, yes. But what are you going to be installed in? What are you going to be installed in? And it's a ceremony. And, you know, and you all know I'm not big on ceremony. I'll change things up. I mean, I rewrote some of this too. I will change things up in the blink of an eye. You never know what I'm going to do on a Sunday. I mean, you really never know what I'm going to do on a Sunday. Be like, let's read something else today. Or, oh, let me find some quote in the book that I'm, you know, just on the fly. And, oh, I have 8 pages of notes for my talk, but I don't need them. It's because I live my life now based on faith that I can do those things and fully trust that I am guided and divinely led. And I was guided and divinely led to be here. I first visited Toronto 15 years ago, and this is the joke, right? I come to Toronto, I get the energy of this amazing city, and my friend that I'm visiting, I'm here for like a day, he takes me to Canada's Wonderland. That would be like somebody coming to LA and going to Magic Mountain. Yeah. So, but I knew from that point, I said, you know what? I want to live in Toronto. I want to live. There's something about the energy of this city. I was not in Science of Mind then. I had no idea. I was still an actor. And I thought, well, you know, there's great acting work up there, but I'm not a citizen of Canada, so it seemed like a far-off idea. It seemed like a far-off idea. And yet everything aligned perfectly when I found myself. And all through ministerial school, James will tell you, all through ministerial school, we all write, where would we like to have a ministry? And Toronto was on every single list. Every single list. And then I thought, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's not like I can show up at the border and say, here's my certificate. It was July 31st. It was July 31st when we received notification that we had all passed our ministerial intensives. And I went and I put a note on Facebook, and all it said was, I passed. And God bless Tony Matthews. Who wrote back 2 sentences. Congratulations, exclamation point. By the way, we need a minister. That was all because of faith. It's all because of faith. So how are you going to dive into faith? You are God. Each and every one of you, you are God. So I charge you tonight to live accordingly and to truly embody this idea and to really, really step into what it is that you dream about. So, I want to thank everyone who is here. I want to thank our esteemed guests. Brian, Evan, thank you so much for being here. Barbara, thank you for being here. Rita, this journey, you've made this journey very special for me. Reverend James, thank you. I go back to that Buddhist proverb, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that was the truth, and it continues to be the truth. I also give great thanks for Helen, and you know what, for Tanis, and everybody on the board. Well, for Helen for putting me up in November. But I give such great thanks for every, you know, the list is far too long, and I know I would forget many, many people. It's like at the Academy Awards. But I want you all to know that I hold you in my heart, and I am so, so grateful for each and every one of you. I am so grateful to you, Karen, from an offhanded comment to make the trip. I mean, it really was. It was like we were at the NoHo Arts Center, and I said, oh, I think I might be going to Toronto. And it was kind of, I would love for you to sing at my installation. And so it is. And I have purposefully saved this gentleman for last. the guidance and the love that my father has shown me through my life has been palpable and so important to me. You know, obviously when I was a rebellious teenager, we didn't always get along. But he taught me a principle that he knew innately, and it was this teaching. I don't know if you realize that you taught me self-esteem and self-worth and made me the man I am today. So I thank you, and I give great thanks for you being in my life. And what I really, I have to tell you too, I'm really happy that I found the NoHo Art Center and introduced you to the NoHo Art Center. Thank you. So you know that there are communities of like-minded people. And then I'm going to invite my best friend, Alex. Come on up. Well, no, actually, you're going over there, because go stand over there.
Can I say something before you?
Yeah, but he's singing his song.
Message?
Yeah.
I'm doing it with him.
Oh, okay.
But before we do that, no, stay here. I was looking for the exact right moment to do this. Jonathan works with the Global Truth Network, which is a network of ministers, voices of new thought. We produce movies, we produce television, we produce a lot, and it's a brand new network, and Jonathan is highly responsible for a lot of the stuff that goes on that network. And the board of trustees, the owners of the network, asked me to come here today and invite you to be one of the voices of new thought with Dr. Ken Gordon, Dr. Heather Clark, Dr. Patrick Cameron, Reverend Joe Hooper, and myself. We would like to add the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto and Reverend Jonathan Zenz as one of the voices of new thought, as our gift. Thank you.
So, wow, thank you. So you've heard me sing this song as well that I'm going to have Alex sing. Alex wrote this song. Karen, by the way, the song that I said, you're never going to want to hear me sing it again, that's Karen's song. She wrote that. Oh my God. So, thank you. Now, you're never going to want to hear me sing this song again. Alex Robert Holmes wrote this song, and I asked him to perform it tonight because it speaks to my heart in a very, very deep way. I remember the first time he sang this, gosh, I am a mess. The very first time that he sang this, I just sat there and melted. I melted in the moment. I have also asked him to sort of do a closing treatment before we do the final song. So he's going to treat within the song, and he's going to be treating in front of a congregation for the first time as a practitioner. He just received his status this week.
Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. I can't pretend or ignore or go back to what I believed before. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without without your wisdom. Can't live without your message. So what I know right here, right now, that divine, creative, abundant, all-powerful being is flowing through me, flowing through you. It is everything, every little thing. It is every single atom in your body right now, in every vein, every blood vessel. So I can literally say right now that it is flowing through you and flowing through me. And if that doesn't make me one with God, then I don't know what does. So I can say right now that I am God, that everyone here in this building is God, everyone walking down Queen Street right now is God, everyone in this universe right now is God. So what I declare for that right now in this moment is as we walk forward, as we leap, God is always leaping. Stepping into the unknown, God is always stepping. Because we are never without that power. We are never without that faith. We are never without our beliefs. We are never without the one that we are with everyone. So I just give abundant thanks for that. I thank everyone here. I thank Reverend Jonathan Zenz for inviting me here. For inviting me here the first time. Traveling 72 hours, 2,600 miles. I don't know how many kilometers that is, I'm sorry. So I release that laughter. I release that wonderful, thankful laughter into the law right now, knowing that everything that has been said here tonight, not just what I'm saying, every word that has been spoken is released into law, released into the universe, and is done. So with that, I just let it be. As together we say,
And so it is.
Now that I know I'm God, I can't hide behind this old facade. I can't lie to myself and know that I'm not perfect health. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without your wisdom. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your message. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. And so it was, and so it is, and so it shall always be. Namaste.
Nice podium.
Isn't that nice? You know, Spirit knows when to make something arrive. Absolutely. And it's a gift from the NoHo Art Center for New Thought. So.
Yes.
So, to end this evening out and to start the party, a final song that I'm going to sing, because you know me, I love to sing. And music is a very important part of my ministry. I will say that I tried to learn the lyrics, and I mostly know them, but I'm so emotional that every time I did the rehearsal, I couldn't remember them. So I'm going to have the lyrics here. I thought I would just point that out, you know, to show you that I am still human. No. I am God.
You are God.
And God needs the lyrics right now.
And so it is.
So this is right in line with a calling. You know what? I'm going to move this so that you don't have to look through a mic stand. This song speaks to the calling within each of us. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, calling every woman, calling every man, we're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, searched for a melody, searched for someone to lead. We've been looking for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Now. 2, 3. No more broken promises, no more call to war, unless it's love and peace that we're really fighting for. We can destroy hunger, we can conquer hate. Put down the arms and raise your voice. We're joining hands today. Oh, I searched for a leader, but the leader was me.
We were looking for the world to change,
but we can be heroes. Just go on and say if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Now, now. Oh, now, now. If you're ready, we can shake the world. Believe again, starts within. We don't have to wait for destiny. We should be the change that we want to see if you're out there. Oh, if you're out there and you're ready now, say it loud, scream it out if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. If you're out there, if you're out there, if you're out there, if you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, calling every man. We're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. Thank you. Thank you. So that's it. Let's go party.